Imagine for just a moment a courtroom. The judge is seated at the bench holding his or her gavel. At one table, there is the prosecuting attorney. And at the other table, there is the defense attorney. Charges have been made. Someone is going to be held accountable for the charges. The eyewitnesses are being called forward. Now think for a moment with me on the words we live by, written by a man called Brian Burrell. And he told this story of an armed robber named Dennis Lee Curtis, who was arrested in 1992 in Rapid City, South Dakota. Curtis apparently had scruples about his thievery. In his wallet when he was arrested, the police found a sheet of paper that was nicely folded up and nicely written on. And there were certain codes that Curtis had written out about being a robber, or robber's rules, if you want to call it that. The first rule said this: I will not kill anybody unless I have to. The second, I will take cash and food stamps, no checks. I will rob at night. I will not wear a mask. Number 5 says, I will not rob mini marts or 7-Eleven stores. Number 6, if I get chased by the cops on foot, I will get away. If chased by vehicle, I will not put any innocent civilians on the line. Number 7, I will rob only 7 months out of the year. And number 8, I will enjoy robbing and giving from the poor. I will enjoy robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. Now this thief had a sense of morality, although his morality was just a little bit flawed. And when he stood before the court system, he was not judged by his rules, the rules that he had in his wallet, but he was judged by a higher standard of the state law. Likewise, you and I, as we live our lives, going from day to day, we too have a moral code. A code that comes directly from God. A code that is called a code of holy living. The book of Leviticus is not a book that most people would sit down and try to read through while they're reading through the entire Bible. It seems to be a book that focused mainly on sacrifice of animals, blood, guts, and rituals. And so most of the time we can't relate to the book of Leviticus and what is going on in that book. But strangely enough, this Sunday, in the cycle of the lectionary text, we find this particular passage from the book of Leviticus. The opening commandment says, be holy as God is holy, or because God is holy. But what does it mean for us to be holy? The command, be holy. There's a lot of confusion in our world about what it really means to be holy. For some, holiness means being able to put on a pious face like this and go around without saying, I'm holy, don't touch I'm holy, don't touch it. I'm holy, don't touch me. For others, it might be grabbing your Bible, tucking it under your arm, and walking through the street pronouncing the words that are most difficult in the Bible. For others, they might sit around and come up with really strict rules. When I was growing up, holiness in my congregation that I attended meant this. It meant don't go to the movies on Sunday. It meant no drinking, no smoking, no dancing, and by the way, no ironing that blouse on Sunday morning. That was holy. Being holy. There is a lot of confusion what holy means. John Wesley was a man who lived by holiness. And he taught Methodists to live holy lives. But John Wesley also believed that we could not be holy people without being people who also love. And so for Wesley, love and holiness was always connected together. Love and holiness. God is love, and God is holy. And because we have accepted God in our lives, we too have been touched by a holy God. And so we are called to live holy lives, lives that reflect the very image of God in our world. Even Jesus reflected upon these holy laws that were found in the book of Leviticus. For when Jesus was asked, what are the greatest laws? Jesus immediately responded by quoting from Leviticus 19, the essence of what love is. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. But that was not enough. He went on to say, and love your neighbor